good morning. I am Sarah Jane. I'm a psychic medium, intuitive counselor, energy worker, and mom to two beautiful kids. I am here to help people heal and to create the life that they were truly meant to have, as well as to connect them to their guides, angels, and loved ones on the other side, and also reassure us all that life goes on after we die. This is my very first video. Thank you for joining me. Welcome. And if you happen to have found me, you're likely intuitive yourself, as other psychics are often drawn to this work. I'm a social worker also by training, so I'm just really excited to be here. I will be using a variety of oracle cards to give weekly readings and partner with some other friends of mine. I have had a lot of support to get to this point, and I'm really grateful and am excited to give back. If you like this video, please like and subscribe to my channel and stay tuned for my very first weekly oracle reading. Thanks so much for watching. Okay, so for my first card reading today, October 3rd is the date, 2022. I actually am going to be showing you and talking about two different cards. I want to share a little bit about why I do this, and the reason that I do these readings, apart from loving them, is that I was in the psychic closet for a long time, and as I started to come out of it, I realized that there were a lot of other people like me that had abilities and were also hiding them from themselves and possibly the rest of the world, just like I was. And so it's become a real mission of mine to help other people discover their own light and realize that they can do this work too, on themselves and on other people. I get my information from lots of different places, but in this particular video, I'm mostly going to be using oracle cards to share with you some intuitive information that might be helpful for you today. I'm going to be doing a universal card reading, which basically means that I'm going to be giving some messages that come through that are relevant for myself, the reader, and anyone watching this, because everything is connected. So anyone who happens to find this video was meant to hear these messages because they're relevant to you in your life in some way, and it's all symbolic. So if you found this video, you were meant to hear what I have to say today. If I get to the point where I'm doing live readings, I will also talk about Cledons, which is taking from a reading that a person's giving to someone else, the messages that resonate for you. We actually learn more in group energy and can gain a lot from seeing someone else get information. But for today, because this isn't live, anything that comes through is universal for anyone that finds this video. It was meant to be, and just trust that the information that comes through is relevant to you, and really sit in your body and feel how it feels and what really seems to speak to you the most, and then let go of the rest, because not every single thing has to speak to you. A couple things I want people to know about intuition is that the answers are within. You can get a reading from someone, but the truth is that our truth lies within ourselves. So we always need to go within to really chew on what we're hearing from the outside world and know that we have the answers within. We don't have to get a reading to get answers. It can be helpful to help guide us, but honestly, we all have the ability to be our own guides in our own lives. So today I'm going to talk about relationships, which happens to be one of my favorite topics. And, you know, I have had a lot of difficulty in relationships in my life, and hopefully I've learned a couple things. I still struggle in my relationships. It's an ongoing work in my life. But hopefully I've learned a couple things, and readings help me continue to grow and learn. So a couple things about relationships is that they're really about you. Your relationships with other people are really about yourself. And anything that you don't like in someone else, whether it's selfishness or there's not a lot of give and take or secrets or a lack of motivation in that other person, defensiveness, anything that bothers you in someone else is really a reflection of something within yourself that you don't like. And so we have to really think of relationships as a mirror to ourselves, and things that we need to work through and on within our own life. Today, like I said, I'm going to talk about, I actually ended up with two cards today, and I'm going to talk about them both. As I show you this beautiful card from the Shaman's Oracle deck, Colette Baron Reid's Shaman's Oracle deck, it's number 16, and it's called The Empty Well. and it's time to replenish. These cards are really beautiful, number one. Number two, when you want to get information from a card, you have to put some intention into what you want to receive. So the thing I would suggest is anyone watching this to think of the first relationship that comes to mind when you hear the word empty well. I mean, just that word gives you a whole lot of information. Who surfaces in your mind when you hear empty well? And that's usually the right person for this card. There could be a couple people that surface, and you could think about more than one person if you'd like. So the empty well card, and I'm actually going to read a little bit from the book here because the book just says it amazingly well, but it's really quite self-explanatory. Regarding the relationship that surfaces in your mind when I talk about an empty well, it is that there's nothing here, and it's time to replenish yourself because you are diminishing yourself for another. This relationship causes you to diminish yourself. The empty well is dry, and no bucket that is offered to you or shovel that is given to you to help you get out of it is going to change the fact that there's no water in the well. So it's like an empty relationship, a relationship in which there's not enough give and take, or a relationship in which you need to move on from, and you have to face that harsh reality. Stop trying to mend it, stop trying to fix it, stop trying to patch up the walls of the empty well, and see it as a gift. Don't waste any more of your energy or resources on it because it's dry. There's nothing in there. So you're wasting precious time. You will be led to a new oasis as you walk away from this empty space. And you can find that there's a lot of depths in your own heart. So look within to fill that emptiness and that void. You don't need to react or respond to this other person or this other relationship that may be trying to get a reaction or response out of you, or seems to, you feel like they're wanting something from you. Simply shine your light on them. So send them love and light. Send them love and light, and then see how it dispels when you just simply stop fighting or trying to keep something going that is dry. There's a shadow around this relationship, and this is a projection of you that you are confusing with reality. You may have been offered what seems to be help to get you out, but the truth is that there is no water to be found in this well, and the things that are pulling at you are really just reflections of your own unmet needs. So stop diminishing yourself. Your needs can't be met in this relationship anymore, and this relationship causes you to make yourself feel small. This is a pretty heavy card, sorry. And it won't produce the results that you're hoping for. So there's a lack of reciprocity or of give and take. The empty well also tells you it's time to reclaim what is yours and return what does not belong to you. So give that person back the things that you're holding of them, whether it's resentment or anger or a grudge or a lack of forgiveness. Give those things back to that person, and then take back what's yours as well. You know, your own empowerment, your own power. The shadows that are cast in your direction by this relationship are not your making, okay? You do not need to react or respond to this. So simply look within the depths of your own heart to replenish that emptiness. That's this card. That's relationship number one. We have a second card today, beautiful card as well, and it's called the Eye of the Needle. And it says intentionality. So I'd like you to think of a second relationship and allow whatever relationship surfaces or comes to mind to just do so, okay? When this relationship comes to mind, it's a bit of a different energy. Here, intentionality, clarity, and focus can bring positive outcomes. So think of a needle when you're sewing, and how much you have to focus on the little hole, the eye of the needle, to get the thread through, how much focus that takes to really narrow in on that tiny little space. But if you can do it and you can get that thread through there, you are able to build a beautiful tapestry or sew beautiful things with it. But the key is to be able to first narrow down to the eye of the needle the essence of what that relationship is really about, getting down to the bare brass tacks of it all. And if you can do that, there's positive outcomes in this relationship that surfaces in your mind when I say think of another relationship in your life. When you hear eye of the needle, whatever comes to mind, whichever relationship surfaces for you is usually the right one. So just be singularly focused on the task at hand and remove everything else from your mind and from this relationship that is a distraction from the true essence of it. Everything that's not essential, and that way you'll be able to succeed in this relationship. The definition of success here is that being able to do so will allow you to be in alignment with the goal you have for this relationship, and anything that is not will need to go. This is the only way you can get what you need. Shrewd discernment, the willingness to winnow down the needle thread connection to its essence. What is the essence of this relationship? Get down to the essence of it, and you'll be able to see some positive outcomes. Like I said, the eye of the needle looks so tiny, but once your intention threads through it, an opportunity is presented on the other side. The needle can mend, it can heal. This relationship can mend and can heal. It can sew things together to make something meaningful and new. So we left behind this empty well, this bare desert, this barren land in the previous relationship, and now we're trying to sow something new. But to do so, we really have to get down to the heart of the matter, what it is at its core. And success will be what we experience if we can do that. Stay true to also your desires and what you want in the relationship. It's not all about the other person and their wants and needs. You have to move away from an empty well type of relationship where there's a lack of reciprocity and into a relationship which there's mutual give and take, where your needs and your desires and what you want to see also are taken into account. And stay true to them and to the work you need to accomplish so that you can get there if you're laser focused. And sometimes that requires being still and stepping back and taking your time and not rushing into things and really going slow and being very clear on what it is that you're putting out there. The Gentle Gardener card comes to mind that I have from another deck, which is that the thoughts, beliefs, feelings, and things that we think about a relationship will, or when we're planting a garden, the types of seeds we use and where we plant things and how we tend it will determine what kind of garden we have in the end. Same thing is true in a relationship. So how you tend to that relationship will determine the type of relationship or garden that it turns into. This will allow you to create and manifest something with the universe and with another person who's part of that universe that is assured by divine forces. Okay? So that's a really positive look at outcomes in a relationship in your life. And the other card was really about letting go and moving on from the relationships that no longer serve you and being at peace with it and not feeling like you have to continue to try to repair things that are no longer serving you. So yes, I hope you enjoyed hearing about these two messages today. And if you have any comments, please like or comment below. And hopefully I will see you again next week.